Walmart Plaza. Big Y Walmart Plaza. Next stop, North King Street at B'nai Israel Cemetery. approaching West Street at Danville Modern Plaza. Next stop, West Street at FedEx.
West Street at Greenfield Pub.
Christian Lane.
When you use feeders and stuff, it's just good to make sure you flush it for a little bit before you chop. If you flush it, you flush your plants with just straight water and you get all the stuff that you can out. So that way throughout the entire life process, you're going there, feeding them, opening up and opening up and opening up. And then for the last couple of weeks, clean them out. Yeah, you let them in straight water, you clean them out, and a lot of people, that's where a lot of people screw it up, is they won't flush them. They'll use the nutrients and everything, but then they don't flush them up. That's where you get the taste of them. Chemical ingredients.
Yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That's why you get that taste in the buds.
I was wondering that.
But if you do a proper flush, I've never had a problem.
I was really like, I was surprised like how good it came out. It was really golden, like
Next stop, State Road and Christian Lane.
down the street. And one of my friends who lived right next door, like a couple of little plants, and it looked like literally, it looked like a stick, like a bud. Like, we just put it in the ground into a little thing, you didn't like change it, looked like a, just looked like a cone, like a lollipop. Yeah, it's like rock candy, you know, rock candy, the stick.
Yeah.
It looked like that. That was for, we had 3 little plants, and just like
Road at Deerfield Industrial Park.
Some guy just gave me a ride and said, "Can I smell your arms in for a ride?" dude, you gotta stop apologizing. Like you're showing your British side too much. You know, well, he actually
I
did
have
my
a tendency of
Now approaching
You went
North
up.
Main
Oh,
Street
you
at
did?
Greenfield High School.
Like,
Next stop, Pelican Product.
I like to give everybody a general respect. So what I've found is that the more they engage with me, the more I test that respect. Because I figure that respect is something that like, it's like, hey, how are you doing? But it's not only like the generosity of like time, it's also the ability to recognize people and their differences. Right? That's real respect, is to say I respect somebody
Next
for their
stop,
differences.
Pelican Product.
Right? Not everybody can see that. Some people think respect is like, oh, I just follow the law. Right? That's respect. It's like, it's not something that you have to think about others. And the whole point is that his point is to try to find a way to do the opposite of othering. What is that? How do you hear it, Andy? How do you hear it?
the opposite of
Othering somebody, like saying they're outside of me or us or
the usual standard.
it's well the thing
It
is
doesn't matter to me as long as they are respected.
well the thing is othering is not a conscious thing most of the time.
Now approaching
Unless you're like
Pelican
actively
Product.
racist, right?
Next stop,
I'll use
South
that
Deerfield
same type of
Common.
rhetoric. Remember I just said I give everybody the same respect.
Yes.
I was joking around this past weekend because I had a bunch of nephews and one niece around, and I was saying, oh well, I'm really prejudiced about this. But what I was talking about was like, you know, oh, the same type of thing, like somebody who doesn't know how to show respect, right? Oh, I'm really prejudiced against somebody who claims to have the best recipe. I'm like, oh, really? How? You know what I mean? Like, or like, you know, yeah, I forget
Next
the context
stop,
I use it.
South
That's
Deerfield
interesting
Common.
too, but yeah, like, I know it's an important part of like acknowledging, right? Because I try to do that with everything, right? Try to acknowledge positive and negative because people like to put them in one zone or the other. It's the same thing, except it's not ideas, people, right? It's like positive or negative or neutral.
There was a woman I used to know who I knew from work who typically would always say to me all the time, did you both that? Amy and Greenfield, which I don't do.
And so she lost respect for you?
And suddenly she would be like, oh geez, don't you know that that person might get to the office and don't you give it nothing about Greenfield?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't give a fuck. I'm saying that I choose not to vote.
It's interesting, yeah, I think that is othering, right? Saying I care more than you do. I think that's othering somebody, right? Because the truth
But
is that
I'll be somebody.
oh yeah, totally. Yeah, but totally, yeah. I mean that's literally what you're doing, but I think subconscious, and this is my point, is that a lot of mental health and mental illness is subconscious. Because we learn how to love just like we learn how to hate by watching other people. Right? It's like I didn't know that I could care about that thing, or I didn't know that like that there was a way for me to express my anger and my frustration, right? And so hate becomes a way of doing that. It's like, oh yeah, you don't understand me. You know, oh you're just I mean I can wear my own shoes, bro. You know how many fucking people think that they're gardening and they're just landscaping? I'm like, dude, you're not a gardener. Right? But the reality is that you get a lot more honey than vinegar. Right? So here's the working respect. Here's the working respect, right? You give them a bait and they bite, right? Like yeah, it's difficult for me to try to get certain plants to get along that
Now
want to
approaching
seed grow together, but
South
they might not
Deerfield
grow
Common.
together. And
Next
somebody will
stop,
say, yeah,
Main
well,
Street at
fertilizer
CPH Health
and
Center.
that. It's like, well, it's actually a chemical that one of these plants produces, and you're wrong, right? So instead of like being like, dude, you're not a gardener, you don't know what you're talking about. I was just like, yeah, well, that's not the struggle that I face. The struggle I face is like understanding which plants want similar sunlight, what plants want similar like soil content, whether it's sandy or maybe more
Next stop,
swampy,
Elm
right?
Street
It's
at
like,
CPH
I
Health
like
Center.
try to give problems. Like somebody yes, exactly. And that's my point is that like, so my prejudice is that I'm not confident until I'm done being cautious. Right? To be a carpenter, fuck that shit. You gotta just do it. Like, find the piece of wood that works. If it doesn't work, learn. You gotta just like try to do it, right? And I'm so cautious. Same way with mechanics. Like there's a lot of pieces in the car that literally if you bang on it, you can make it work. Other things have to be like very precise. And if you bang on it, the car will never work. Right? So it's like, you get what I'm saying? Like I'm always cautious until I'm confident. But I value those people in my life that are like, oh, I'll just do it and figure it out. I'll figure it out kind of mentality, right? Like to me, I'd rather phone a friend. You know? Like I'm that type of who wants to be a millionaire. It's like, you know, it's just like that's how I run my life. It's like, and the thing is that a lot of people in the universe really
Now
identify with that.
approaching Greenfield Road and Magic Lane Court.
There are certain people that have
Next
done
stop,
like
Greenfield Road and Magic
they're
Lane.
aware of like how to build a house, but then they work around here with all these old houses, and it's like they're just gonna like kind of botch it a little bit. Like there could be a better way if you understood how people were building 2 centuries ago when they built the house. Well, there's an irony there. You ready for this?
Next stop, Greenfield Road and Magic
Era
Lane.
of the 60s to the 80s, the worst building techniques were applied. And specifically also because that was the time period when a lot of the houses built. Right? And they were trying to also be new and how to do things. And a lot of the way to discover that, like medicine, right? Like they got to do trials, figure out if vaccines work, food, ways building, energy efficiency, right? Different techniques, different materials. The time tells which ones will last. So a lot of that materials that they used in the 60s and 70s were the worst materials they ever could possibly use. So the irony is that the houses that are over 200 years old might be stronger than the ones that are probably 50 or like 60 to 40 years old.
Now approaching Greenfield Road and Magic Lane.
Around that time period,
Greenfield Road
they
and Citadel.
dismantled the unions. Like the ability There you go.
10.
It's absolutely
Next stop, Deerfield Street and Meadows Golf.
like 90% German.
Or
BAHR, Moss, Stachel. These are all very German names. Yeah. Alright, so
Next stop,
I'll just show
Deerfield
you
Street and
guys the
Meadows
top
Golf.
of that building. Yeah, you know what I always thought about? Like my blood grandfather from Texas. What is it, tapenade? You know what a tapenade is? So in my understanding, a tap is like a drill, and then the guy actually allows you to put like a stopper in there, where you can make a hole in a metal thing into a screw that you can close it. Is that right? So what is it? What's the difference between a tap and a drill? Say what? Oh, no wonder it's not you. So the guy complements the tap. The guy is just a hole. You know what? Okay. Oh, so the tap makes the hole, and the guy makes the plug. That's interesting. That's really interesting. So what building was it? No, it's on this street. Technically, it's off this street. Technically, it's off. What? No. All right, it's actually technically not on this street. It's on a light off of this street before we get to town. All right. Think about what I said, bro. You know what sociology is? That's what they call it, but it's really about how we're affected by each other too. Because there's this social aspect to the fact that, like, you're a driver, I'm a passenger, you can have a conversation. You know what I mean? As well as the fact that, like, your job is right? There's a social aspect to every job. And they don't attribute that to psychology. So this town was built by these factories all along this way, Cheapside. Right? You know Cheapside? So
Now
all these are like
approaching
little
Deerfield Street
houses
and
in
Meadows
here.
Golf.
They're all shit houses.
Next stop, Deerfield Street and
Right?
Washington
They're
Street.
falling apart. They're built on bedrock. Water's coming up through the bedrock. Right? So, all right. So that's your final clue. It's off of the light. These were all mill houses. This is Cheapside. So which building is it? I'll tell you what. We're only getting warmer. I'll tell you when we're getting colder, but take a look around, brother.
Next stop, Deerfield Street and Washington Street.
Where do you think it is? You didn't hear what he said, or he guessed right. We're still getting warmer. And which building? Well, they burned down and they rebuilt it. Which building?
Now approaching Deerfield Street and Washington
Here,
Street.
right here.
Next stop,
Right, that's what you're
Deerfield
saying,
Street
right?
and Meridian Street.
Yeah, that building right there. That was Greenfield tapenade, which is one of the most historical things. Maybe because like there's so many things that were built in Greenfield, but they wouldn't put the name on it, right? When every single fucking tapenade says Greenfield, Mass.
Now approaching
Right, so it's like,
Deerfield Street
that's
and
what the
Meridian Street.
difference is that Greenfield
Next
knew
stop,
about it.
JWO Transit Center. Next stop, Deerfield Street and Meridian Street.
What? like the town of Nye. was
Next
the same
stop,
type of principle that we
JWO
focus
Transit
on
Center.
now. They call it, like mechanics' rights, kind of. You know about that? So essentially, like if you buy a Ford, Ford wants to say, you have to come to the shop to get it worked on. But the Constitution says that we should be able to know how to work on our own things, and that's kind of the argument. So they do it state
Now
by
approaching
state, like abortion.
JWO Transit Center.
Which I have to
Next stop,
say, like, I kind of
JWO Transit
with that.
Center.
I mean, you guys are way more old school than me, but I do think that states should decide a lot of things. I'm anti-federalist in a lot of ways. But it is interesting because, like, obviously, human rights shouldn't depend on state by state. Like, that abortion shit is nonsense. Right? But it's like, if people want to, like, have a state where, like, it's like, not literally, like, in organ your own car, but, like, and I also think that, like, decriminalization is stupid. But I think there's a lot of other laws that people should have where, like, you ever been to Washington State?
Next stop,
Oregon?
Greenfield Street and Meridian Street.
The difference is big. Washington's very pro-business. Oregon is very much, like in the whole state of Oregon, at least this was the law when I was there